This is the CFT for College Football 25. I am that other guy alongside my broadcast partner, Brownsville Gamer.
And we are here. We're really excited because this is the newest addition to the CFT 25, where we're going to actually have a game of the round. We're talking about the best game possible, and we're looking at really two solid teams. These are undefeated teams, 3-0, going into a very important round 4 in the preliminary matchup.
I'm surprised that Florida State is 3-0 the way they've been playing in real life. But hey, that's not neither here nor there.
You know, let's keep it contained and civil. We're going to talk about the virtual world here. I mean, Florida State, they belong here, and they defeated the best teams in the country. In fact, this is where I want us to start. Let's look at the roadmap between these two teams, starting with Texas. They are undefeated, but they beat Troy at home, UNLV away, and Tulane at home. And they've won every game by at least 2 possessions versus a Florida State that, although had a bye in round 3, they beat Oklahoma State, a top 20 team, and they beat Oregon, another top 20 team. So whose resume as of right now is more impressive? The 3-0 team with the arguably cupcakes, or the top 20s in the country in the first 2 rounds?
I think I'm going to go with the latter.
I feel the same way. I feel like this is Florida State's game that they need to win. If they can beat Texas, the 3rd best team in the country, then arguably they might be the team to beat in the CFT tournament.
Well, we're about to find out here as Texas going on their first drive. As they get the first down, they push it down the field.
Smoking. He is moving. That's Jadon Blue, number 23, for a solid first down for the Longhorns.
As they move the chains and keep the balls rolling, they're right now in midfield. Pretty good run by the running back. And what do you think Florida State has to do to combat Texas offense, especially with when you
look, man? You gotta pay attention to the quarterback, number 3. This is one solid guy that can play it in the air, knows how to work with the halfback, number 23. And Jadon Blue, another character that you'll have to pay attention to. If he gets open space, if he's able to run those gaps the way he should, he's going to be very hard to stop. And I didn't even talk about the wide receivers yet.
So what do you think with the wide receivers? Do you think they need to just continue doing what they're doing what got them here?
You do what you have to do. You look for the mismatch opportunities and pay attention to number 11. Number 11 is this type of slot receiver where if he gets happy feet and he's able to take advantage of off speed, then he can try to go for a huge advantage. But right now it's number 8 with a very important first down, and that's going to move the chains down to the 41.
How do you think with Texas having dual quarterbacks, that they can slot in any time, do you think that's a dangerous...
we haven't even talked about Manning yet.
And that's what I mean.
Like, if Manning is in the game, it's just going to make things more exciting to watch. But right now they're relying on their top personnel, and right there they're going to go for 3 yards, and now it's going to be 2nd and 7.
I don't know if you know, you've seen that they've run the ball more than they've thrown it. What do you think about that?
Why not work down the defense? I think that there's going to be moments where pivotal third downs are going to look for mid-range, long-range passes, but you got to trust the running back. And I think number 23 is going to be one of those players that you can rely on to exploit the line. But right now that was a gain of 1, so they have a pivotal third down, a 3rd and 6 situation at the 37. And if you're Florida State, do you think that this is all going to plan?
I believe so. You got a packed house. You got the crowd on your side. Look at that beautiful view of the stadium. The crowd is on fire right now. I can barely hear you. But what I can tell you is right now is that if Florida keeps with this defense up, as they're... No, I think they're going to give up the first, yeah. But so far, Texas is moving down the field, but, Florida State's defense is holding their own. They're not giving up too much big plays. They're fighting for their yards, but... I think it's going to be a pretty good close game. I don't think it's going to be a runaway as most people think it would be.
I think that it's going to be one of those games where whoever's defense starts to collapse early by making early mistakes, that's going to be the team that's going to lose. And right now, 23 goes for 5 yards. And it's pretty much all the running game for the Longhorns right now. We haven't seen much excitement.
Oh, trash talking.
And look, they're at home, right? You're home, somebody's in your house, and they're trying to take over everything. And if you want to shut Texas down, maybe a psychological game is necessary too.
Yeah, could be right about that. It's now 2nd and 5. Let's see what they do here. And and they get it. That should be a touchdown.
And you see, this is why I said you got to be patient with the offense, especially with the wide receivers. Number 7 going in for a clutch Longhorns touchdown. And that's going to be the way to start this competition between Florida State. Now, Florida State's going to have to come back with a response. But look at Isaiah Bond, number 7. He was poised on that route. He was way ahead. I mean, he couldn't get it any better than this. Like, this is exactly the thank you, ma'am, thank you for carrying type pass. Like, I don't know. Like, the defense could not catch up.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, Florida State gave up the first score. But hopefully it should be the one and only one that they do as they set up for the extra point.
And that's going to be a routine field goal for 84 yards, the point after. And right now, if you're Texas, you're thinking to yourself, all right, offense, you did your job. Defense, we need to prevent points. And I would say that as much as we make so much fun about this certain quarterback for the Seminoles, this is his time to shine. You know, a little DJ. I'm just saying, this
right,
could be.
Right, because this is their first possession. Because last time I checked, and you could be right, and you could tell me if I'm right or wrong, I think Texas had the ball for the majority of the first quarter.
Sure, and right now we were talking about quarterbacks. We should be talking about the halfback. Pay attention to number 25 as they'll try to see what they can do. Number 24. Right there, that's going to be a gain of 4. Apparently, their ability to try to really juke the defense with their speed is something that's going to be very comparable against these two teams. My question is, who's faster in terms of being able to run inside of the gaps?
You could be right about that. What do you think now that Florida State is on offense? What do you think they have to do with this Texas defense? Oh, and he doesn't go anywhere.
There's one answer.
But yeah, to go back to what I was saying, what do you think Florida State has to do outside of what we just saw to combat, Texas
Look,
defense?
Stay composed, right? You don't have to overthink things. The clock, I know it's ticking, but you still got a lot of time.
It's only the first quarter. It's only the first quarter. And so you don't want the game to get off.
They're at a 3rd and long situation at the 17. They're going to try to go deep. And right here, number 4 stays in the pocket, slants, but I don't think that's going to be enough. That's just about 4.
He takes a check down on 3rd and, okay.
I mean,
I would have just threw it away for all that.
I mean, if you're going to go for that, what point of the game was that if you're just going to end up kicking it away?
Right. So
I don't see what was that. Was that the right play?
Clearly, as you can see, if they're punting it back, it's not.
I mean, what would you have played in this situation?
I will try to look downfield. I mean, you just took a check down on 3rd and long. That doesn't make much sense. You either throw it away or just... Because anyway, you have to punt the ball back.
Right, because 4 yards when you're down 14 is just not enough to do anything. Speaking of being down, rushing yards, Florida State is just not able to run the ball.
-3.
And they just got possession in fairness. So let's see if this quarter can be something that Florida State can generate some offense. And right now, it looks like it's going to be an option. But pay attention with the man in motion. Number 23 steps back because number 3 is going to try to get it out there.
And they lost yards.
And that's going to be a loss of 4.
Fans are hyped. They are all in it.
And now number 10, if you've noticed something, he kind of got confused right there because I figured that he felt like, yeah, I think I got him. But at the same token, it's like, why should I bother? He's just going to go out anyway.
Yeah, but you got to be careful with that because what if he didn't and took it down the field? Now you're seeing him with the woulda, coulda, shouldas. But, hey, that's in the past. It's now 2nd and 14.
Right here, number 3 is going to stay. Scans. Number 7 is going to be able to get something, about 5. And now it's down to a 3rd and 5 situation at the 39. I mean, if you are the quarterback right now, you're thinking to yourself, is this an opportunity where I can maximize on my halfback? Because he's pretty consistent. He's been consistent, especially on 3rd down situations. And it's probably someone I'm going to need to think about as my first option.
Right.
But no, he's trusting the wide receivers.
And it goes nowhere.
But stood too long inside of the pocket. And number 11, Peyton, is excited by that very devastating blow to number 3.
And they're well out of field goal range, so it's back to punting the ball.
It looks like we're going back and forth. Let's look at Patrick Peyton right here, because right here he knew that number 64 cupcake, so now he can get to the quarterback quickly and swiftly. I mean, it could have been worse. Maybe it could have been a fumble, but at least that was so clean and swift.
Right. as they punt the ball back to Florida State. We are well and along the way on the second quarter. Let's see what they do here. It's going to be a fair catch. It is now 1st and 10.
And we're having a technical issue at the moment.
We apologize for that.
Hey, we'll fix this later. Nah.
No, 1st and 10. 1st and 10.
We don't got that type of time.
Right.
Number 4 steps out, gets it to number 13. Not much of a gain. I believe that's a gain of 4. And they're at 2nd and 8 at the 26. Florida State has to figure out something on the offense. I feel like the running game was underplayed from the last drive.
Right, I think they overthink things. I think they overthink things too much, and it cost them a possession. But hey, new possession. Let's see what they can do here.
And right now, gets it to number 24. It's going to get the first down, maybe inches. No, 3rd and 1. But you know what? That's good for progression. Right. And a very smart move by DJ. He felt the heat, and you know what? He had the running back ready to go.
I don't know what he was looking downfield for, but whatever. It's now 3rd and 1.
Now, a very important down for the Seminoles. They need to keep things going, especially as the clock is ticking down to number 24. Gets the first down, a new set of downs for the Seminole, a new breed of life for the offense. And look at that. Number 20. Look, I feel like at this point, this is an exciting game. Every play matters, every down matters, and every moment of talking to your opponent and getting to their minds, that should matter as well.
Could have a point there. It's now 1st and 10. The ball keeps moving.
Number 4 passes it, but no completion by number 0. So right there, DJ is like, hold on, don't rush things, keep the momentum going, but let's keep in tempo. I hope he takes his own advice.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna address the big elephant in the room. Do you think Florida State, again, they beat 2 solid teams in the top 20. Do you think they got a run? In this game, are they for real?
Are you talking about this game or in real life?
In the world of the CFT, is DJ for real? Are they for real as a potential playoff team? Could they go long and maybe make a national championship run?
I'm going to say that I am going to reserve judgment until later on in the game. It's too early to tell. No, hear me out. It is too early to tell. We're only in the first half. Can I make an assumption based off the first half alone? It's only 7-0. It'd be one thing if it was
Florida State has had possession of the ball for nearly a quarter, and it looks like they're just haggling by. With another first down, though, by Tofly, number 9.
You saw what Texas did when they had the ball for a whole quarter. They actually scored points.
Yeah, I accept a lot from that. If you had to go through an entire quarter, you better turn up 7.
Exactly.
I can't say the same with the Seminoles right now, but you know what? With 1:43 ticking,
you had the nerve to ask me that question.
DJ goes. He's paying attention. Has enough space, but that should have been picked. That should have been picked by number 9.
He's lucky it wasn't picked. And
yeah, he knows he's frustrated. He knows it. And for Texas,
folks, I think we wasn't paying attention. That was 4th down. They went for it.
I know. That's why I'm so calm about this. Because I'm just
wait a minute.
Because here's the thing, right? You're going that crazy on 4th. You should have bent for a punt. And then you figured, you have a misalignment right here? A misassignment? No. So limp. But I love the confidence from DJ. That's why I was just looking at this as like, are they for real? Apparently they are. They're going for it, baby. They're 3-0.
It's now 1st and 10 with 1:32 left to go in the first half.
Oh, so much for being the straight guy here.
I mean, we have to play it. We're commentating the game. We have a job to do.
I mean, of course, but it doesn't mean we can't have opinions. Speaking of which, you know what?
You don't want my opinions.
Yes, I do. This is the platform to be expressive.
You sure?
Yes.
You are positive?
Absolutely.
I think Florida State's going to find a way to lose.
Oh, here we go. This is that other guy that I've been waiting for over a quarter. Why do you feel this way now?
I feel like I was wrong for what I said a few minutes ago, and I think that Florida State is going to find a way to stay in this game, and they're going to find a way to win.
What's wrong with you? What is this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type shit? Like,
I didn't say anything.
Pick a lane. Look, let me tell you right now. Okay. I'm going to tell you now. Texas will be in the finals of this tournament. I'm calling it. And not because I'm just biased. I just think that Texas hasn't been challenged yet. And I think that the moment's going to come when they're going to face a Georgia.
So you're trying to say that they're looking past their opponent?
Yes.
But you're coming at me for saying about Florida, but Florida State.
At least I got the guts enough to say that Florida State is a legitimate team, but they're going up against a much better team, and they're getting exposed. Because, look, they had an entire quarter, and look, they're going to get the ball back with about, 5 seconds? They'll probably get a play or two, but it's not like they're going to go deep. It's not like DJ is going to be that confident to get some sort of connection off of this defense. I mean, this defense has been exposing them the entire game.
What the hell?
And that's a loss of 1 to end the half. This is exactly what I'm talking about. They don't have much going on the running game. Their passing game is confusing. I don't think there's a lot of confidence on the offense at all. And the funniest part is they underachieved getting 2 yards per play, and they've had the ball for over 3 minutes in the half. You had the ball for 3 minutes in the entire half. And when you had it, what did you do with it? I'm just saying, man, you can say these things too.
Right, but we have to be unbiased.
No, I'm calling it like I see it. How is that biased?
I think that we need to stay at the topic at hand and continue to call.
No, I think we need to stop being so chalk. Be honest. Bro, you have signs.
No, I don't.
This mother.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You are prepared to go in on this fucking team. I cursed, guys. I don't care. We're watching a very good game, by the way, by Texas.
I'm here to call the game. That's what I'm here to do.
You can call the game and have statements too.
I do have statements. I've said statements earlier.
The most generic statements, like bought by Florida State. What the hell?
No, I said statements based on my opinion, based on what I see on the field.
What are you seeing now? Talk to us. Give us opinions on what you see on the field right now.
I feel like I'm being put in the spot, but okay, I'll answer a little.
You're
question.
on. The mic is hot. The game is going. You've been on the spot. You're on the spot for the past,
the mic is lukewarm.
18 minutes.
Like I said, going back to what I was saying earlier, I think Florida State has an opportunity to get back in this game.
Yep, third.
They're not out
of it. At the 24.
They're not
in the third quarter.
They're not out of it.
I'm being objective. I'm literally calling it like I said.
They're not out of the game. They're still. It's only 7-0. Anybody can take this game wide open.
Look, all there needs to be is one missed opportunity by Texas, but they've been so disciplined on defense. Here's another example of how strong these safeties are. Pay attention to the guards as well, but I really think that if you're watching some really good defensive playing, it's by number 13. It's by number 7. That personnel is set up to just clog any running play.
Can I ask you a question?
It's just making it so hard for the offense to try to get a passing lane going.
Okay. All right. Do you know their names?
Do you?
You're the one talking about them?
Yes. And you know what's the funny part? At least I'm trying. Let's go into 1st and 10 now at the 29.
I don't appreciate that, but okay.
Why?
Because you just said I'm not trying. We're both getting paid to do a job.
No one's questioning you. You're questioning yourself.
I see what you're trying to do here. It is now 2nd and 7.
I'm calling the game, and now you're getting sensitive over my assessment of how you're calling the game.
This is why we as a people could never...
We as a people, you can call yourself that. I'm just calling the game, and I'm having opinions. It's a good game, and I think that's the part that you're being so heavy on.
Is it really a good game?
Yes. I think that right now, you got Florida State that's trying to really get the offense going. You got the defense right now that's really look, we don't have to score many points. We just have to score enough.
Boring. We want to see shootouts. We want to see 50-yard bombs.
Here we go. Here's that other guy we've been waiting all night for.
But unfortunately, we don't have to end this game. So we have to have, just continue watching what we're watching.
Jesus Christ.
And as you can see, I think he caught it.
It is a catch, and that's going to be a first down by the Longhorns, making it up to the 43.
What do you think the crowd is going... What do you think they're feeling right now as they feel like their team's on a cusp to break the game wide open, but they just haven't broke through yet?
Who are you referring to?
The crowd.
Look, Florida State fans right now are still here because they still think that they're looking for that missed opportunity that Texas is going to let go by. Here's the problem. The offense has number 23, and I said that in the beginning of the game. Pay attention to the halfback, because if the passing game doesn't work, you still have a running game that hasn't really been that much of a shutdown. Like, they're still making, on average 4, maybe 5 yards a running play.
Yeah, let's go with that.
I think that's a solid way to work down the defense.
It'd be more solid if some more points are being scored.
Well, let's see the quarterback keeping it and now going for a first down. Again, you have to really be dynamic enough to not have to stress and worry that, wow, the wide receiver's got to do a lot of the heavy lifting. No, I don't think that the defense of the Seminoles is able to respond to the running game of Texas right now.
I mean, I'll be stressed too just to watch this 7-0 game.
I mean, it's a good game. And I think that,
really?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes. I think this is a good game. I think that even if Florida State figures out a way to come back, here's the funny part that no one is talking about. If Florida State manages to tie Texas and figure out a way to get a possession, the better question is Texas in a position to keep themselves in contention of winning the game? Are they in a position, if it's tied 7-7, should Texas be more worried that they might give up the game versus Florida State just really being the better team? But here's Texas' answer. That's going to be a first down, now down to the 3.
Well, the way Florida State's playing is probably not going to be tied for long.
Look, at this point, if Florida State can't get an answer here, they're going to have to figure that out in just one quarter, because it's going to be a position where Florida State is going to have to really generate some offense in under 5 minutes.
Do you even know what a Seminole is? I don't know what it is.
They're an Indian that is native and indigenous to the land of Florida.
Oh, well, you know.
That's literally the town of Tallahassee is a Seminole nation.
Oh, well, I distracted you. Texas scored a touchdown. They're hyped. It's now 13-0.
Good job, Texas. I mean, you asked the question. I answered it.
I apologize. Should have looked at the
score, the game. So, the blue, number 23.
I see what you did there, sir.
I'm just saying, you're the one who asked the question in the middle of a call-out.
I mean, I got to do my job, right?
You didn't. That was confusing.
Well, your job is to lead Mike to unconfuse it.
No, my job is to call the game.
Yeah, so call the game.
Yes, and if you have any questions...
Oh, if I have any questions?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you. Yeah. Why is Florida State choking this game?
I don't know. They don't have a real answer on defense, and I don't think that the offense is confident in their passing ability. The running game is anemic. And I don't know, when you're working in all cylinders like Texas, who, by the way, were beating the cupcakes of the tournament, yeah, I think this is what we get in return.
Well, I don't think they're resting on their laurels. More or less, they're just playing down the competition. If they really want to, they're going to blow this game wide open. But
who?
Talking about Texas.
They don't need to. They're 3-0.
True, but don't you want a statement win?
No, you need to go 4-0
to show people we are not to be messed with.
You are what your record says you are.
The championship goes through us.
Your record tells you that, right? I don't need to give a big pomp and circumstance statement. I just have to say 4-0.
No. I'm not saying give a big giant statement. I'm saying your statements on the field.
You still have to keep your players healthy. You have 2 more rounds, and they're probably going to get harder. And if you look at the quarterback targets, yes, that's the wide receivers, the tight ends that haven't really had much of a say today. But I will say this much. You have to consider 4-0. You don't need a statement game. You just need to win your games.
But wouldn't you
the record tells the statement.
Right, but if you're barely beating your opponents, not saying that here, obviously, but if you're barely beating your opponents, it doesn't show.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see if that statement was actually a truth statement. Troy lost to Texas 45-23. Lost by ULLV. They beat them 41-26. Tulane 37-20. They have won every game by at least 2 possessions. How is that not a statement?
All right.
How is that not a statement?
Okay, you got it.
I'm just saying, you don't need to have a long, drawn-out, we need this game and run up this... No, you just need to win. Just win.
Okay.
Just win.
Okay.
Because I would rather be 6-0 and winning by 1 point than being 4-2 and kind of wiping out the competition, knowing damn well if that was the case, you should be winning more games. I'll be that team.
Well, now everybody can go undefeated. Like you said.
One of them will. And I think Texas might be that team.
Well, it's damn sure ain't going to be Florida State the way they playing.
I think Florida State, if they care about their chances of making it to the playoffs, and they don't beat a Texas team, they use this as an example for
they actually threw the ball more than 10 yards down the field.
And look what happens. I mean, if Florida State manages to pull off a win here, or if they lose, I hope that this is one game that they can take back to their team and say, look, if we can't beat a Texas, we can't win the tournament.
I guess.
Like, you got to beat a team like this.
Something because time is not on their side right now.
It is 3 minutes and 16 seconds right now, and number 4 steps back, gets it to the wide receiver, and now number 13, Lee, is going to gain about close to 20, and that's going to be now 1st and 10 at the 21.
And I think they're in the red zone, so if they want to do anything to stay in this game, they got to strike blood now.
I honestly think that if Florida State has any way of winning it, it's going to be on this play. If they are going to do something on this play and exercise what we know the Seminoles can do, it should have been that play.
And DJ, so we have a little bit more technical difficulties, but we're back. And I think DJ's kind of pissed because I think he wanted that ball to be caught.
I thought that, first off, I would challenge that. Would you challenge that?
Do you want to take a risk? I mean, you want to be able to keep all your 3 timeouts. I mean, I wouldn't want to take a risk because if I don't get that, I just lose a timeout.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think that at the end of the day, you stay in contention every play. And number 10 is going to get it. Number 0 is going to get it for the first down.
Why are they not playing with a sense of urgency? It's like 2 minutes. What are they doing? They're not playing with a sense of urgency. They out of call. I mean, you got a 2-minute warning still, but still, you need to move with a sense of urgency.
I feel like you gotta let the kids be kids.
Let them kids be. This
is college football, and at the end of the day,
let the kids be
I
kids.
think that
we're trying to win. If you want to be kids, stay off the field.
You know why? Because I don't want to miscompose team rushing.
Yeah, let the kids be kids.
Yes,
how that worked out?
It's second and goal. Look,
time is not on their side.
I get that, and they're gonna know that now that they have the 2-minute warning. But you gotta let the kids be in a sense of composure so they can grow in terms of their speed.
Well, they need to grow into the end zone.
True, and they're at the red zone. So I think that if they're second and goal, they're at the 12, they're trying to figure out what's going on, I would rather they take their time and figure it out than fuck it up again. And right now, it's going to be, I guess, a loss of 1. But look, if Florida State can't play composed, they're going to make sloppy mistakes. Texas is waiting for a pick. They're waiting for it. They're hunting for it. So Florida State, yes, if you have to take your time, yes, take your time. Don't make sloppy mistakes when the game is still in reach. Number 4 steps back. He's still waiting, processing it, and the pick.
You were saying?
Yeah, you have to pay attention. And these are the things that they are going to have to learn. You're going to have to learn that when there's a missed opportunity, you can need to run with the ball. I still felt that moment as he's scanning the field in the pocket, he can still run in. He has legs. So the fact that, again, if he doesn't realize that in these sort of games, yes, they deserve to lose. But these are also learning lessons. But what I don't want to see is a sloppy-ass team all over the place because the clock is running and they're running like their heads are cut off. You know, like I need smart play.
It's second and 12. This game is pretty much over.
I think that for Florida State, if they have any chance of maybe making an inch of a comeback, they got to do it on this drive. They have to do it on this drive. And that's the second time out by the Seminoles.
Got a lot of more optimism than I do.
142. Look, at the end of the day, I'm being objective. Look, Texas won this game.
I'm being a realist.
They won this game at the second quarter. If you didn't see that, that's your problem. But the third quarter could have been an opportunity for Florida State.
That's pretty much
if they trusted their passing game. For DJ, we saw glimpses of it. But it doesn't pay the bills when you're still down by 2 possessions. And for Florida State, if they can't realize this, then this is a really tough learning lesson that they're going to really have to take home and understand.
And take a knee, and folks, that's going to do it.
And look, for Florida State, I think that this should be a life lesson on you cannot play the game scared and think that everything is just going to go your way because you're at home. You're going up against a Texas team that is playing hot. Let us not forget for Florida State, they are going into round number 4 off of a round 3 bye. They haven't played since round 2 against Oregon.
Well, I mean, unless you have anything else to add to that, we're going to call it here, unless you have anything to add to extra time.
I mean, like, do we want to do an extra time?
I guess I think we can.
I think we can. I say why not? I think that this is actually a first game that we haven't played in such a long time where it's more about what does strategic football playing look like and how much energy does a team have to exert in order to get there. I think Texas did an amazing job today in doing 2 major things. Number 1, trusting the running game. I think that the halfback was the player of the game in my opinion. They're the player of the game because they figured out ways to expose the defense in terms of their inability to just hold off the runner, especially on these very short routes. We're not looking at any major routes past, 15, maybe 20 yards by the halfback that really set the game out of reach. We're talking about short, methodical running routes that we've seen a lot from Texas. And then on the defense is just getting to the quarterback when the quarterback thinks they have a groove to throw it out there. And the running game, anemic. I thought that this was going to be a battle of the halfbacks. No, I think number 24 dominated by Texas.
Yeah, or you could just basically say in layman's terms that Florida State sucks.
Well, can you actually verbalize a reason why you say they suck?
They lost.
Why? Like, obviously, they know people know how to read scores. I'm just saying, why did they lose? I told you why Texas won. Can you tell me why Florida State lost?
You chose to do that. But
yes, because that's what good analysts do. I don't understand where you're coming from. Again, they lost. Duh. My question is, what was the reason why they lost?
They sucked.
Okay, can you verbalize past one word?
They played down to competition.
What does that mean?
Meaning that they came here unprepared.
What does unprepared look like? Can you give me a play or two, an example of a player?
I'll give you the entire game.
Talk to us then. The mic is on. I'll be quiet.
Florida State came in here, what was their record again? They were undefeated?
Both teams were undefeated.
Right. And Florida State did not play like they were an undefeated team. I think they ran into a brick wall, which was Texas, and they got punched in the mouth and didn't know what to do. Everyone gets punched in the mouth. It's what you do after you get up that determines how you move forward. And clearly we see they take the tailheads and go home. And I feel that if they keep playing like this, they may not make it out of this tournament. As for Texas has shown us and the viewers that they are not to be messed with. They did what they need to do. It wasn't fancy. It wasn't pretty, but they did what they need to do to get the job done. And like you said, I think that's all that matters. As long as you win, hey, what am I to say? I may not like it. It may not be my cup of tea, but a W is a W. And if it keeps you undefeated, then you must be doing something right.
I mean, look, my question is very simple. Since they've demonstrated they can beat a good team, because everyone wants to talk about cupcakes, and Texas only had cupcakes except for Florida State. Wow. What do you have in your hands?
Folks, what I have here, we'll put it up on the screen soon, but I just want you to get a great eye for it. We have some things that I've made before the broadcast,
wow.
And
Discovery.
Yeah, so I want you to read some of these that I have here, just to give a glimpse of what we're going to put on the screen.
Meet me.
Whoa. We got, who are you looking at? Whoa.
DJ, I need a job. I went from a promising quarterback to playing myself out of a scholarship. Join me, and I'll show you how to go from 0 to hero in no time. How did you even get this?
It's 0 to 0. And how did I get this?
Yeah.
I know somebody that works in, so
All right.
he's able to get this for me. And
So why do we have this in possession?
Because this guy sucks. He's a hyped up quarterback. They hyped this man up like he's the second coming of Jesus, and he's played like trash. He played like trash in real life, and he played like trash in the virtual world. Maybe he's just not meant for football. I mean, hey, if you lose Tyreek.
Wait a minute. Time out. Before you show more, because I think you might have some others, but I want to ask you a question. Hold on. You did not like this win today, didn't you?
No. After listening to what you said earlier about a few statements about it, I don't have a problem with it anymore. I think Texas did what they needed to do to win, and they deserve to be.
You didn't like Florida State the way they lost, didn't you?
No, I feel like they came in here, beating their chest, and they proved to me and proved to the world why.
Do you think the wins against Oklahoma State and Oregon are a fluke?
Yes. And I will die on this hill to say that they are the F word.
What? I mean, talk about being objective.
I am objective. I'm objectively saying that they're frauds. just being honest. Well, you look speechless. Well, folks,
I'm speechless because I'm very concerned about a couple of things, and you know what? Just entertain me for like 2 more minutes, and then we'll just call it a night. But
okay.
I have 2 concerns.
Okay.
Concern number 1 is before the game even started, was the 3-0 record to you impressive? Because a part of me feels like in the beginning of this show, I told you, hey, this is how Florida State made here. And I said, who had the better record on paper? And you said Florida State.
Right.
Now, we're at the end of this game, and suddenly you have this disdain over this Florida State team who lost again, like, we don't think that Texas is a fluke, right? So this is Florida State, 3rd top 20 team in the country. They lose. And sure, they didn't get blown out by like 52 points.
You just got shut out.
Sure.
You just go a point.
And as a result of that, you feel like they're a fraud?
Who says I didn't feel like that before the game started?
Why did you feel like that before the game started?
Because it's Florida State.
What is your disdain of Florida State?
They exist.
Why do you hate Florida State?
Because they suck.
Why do they?
Look at the product on the field.
I mean, in the virtual world or the real world?
In any world.
I mean,
you can put them in the afterlife, they're gonna find a way to lose.
I am very concerned by a lot of what you're saying.
You shouldn't be.
Why?
Because you saw what I saw.
I saw a game where they had to hit a very good team, and they couldn't handle it after hitting 2 very good teams. It's like
they got punched in the mouth.
Yes, by a team we expect.
They got bullied.
They lost to the better team. This is what makes this entire conversation confusing. I don't know if your disdain is because Texas is just a better team.
I have no problems with Texas.
Do you think Florida is a better team than Texas?
I don't have no problems with Texas. I'm going to go on record to say I have no problems with Texas.
Did you think before... Hold on. Do you think before the game even started that Florida State had a chance to beat Texas? Yes or no?
In the first quarter, yes.
I said before. I'm not even talking about this game. Before the game even had started.
You're talking about before the broadcast, as you said?
I'm talking about prior to us saying welcome to. Did you think that Florida State was a legitimate team, that they had a chance to beat Texas?
No.
Why?
Because it's Florida State.
So... a Florida State that can beat 2 top 20 teams and defeat them, not even, I mean, the margins were by at least 13 points on average, and that's not impressive to you? What is your standard of excellence then in terms of the CFT? And better yet, since now you want to speak poetically about Florida State, no, you've unlocked the 3rd question, and then we'll end here. Since you're so confident that Florida State is hot garbage, okay? Even though they're going into round 5, 3-1, they're hot garbage to you, right? Who is not garbage? Who do you think is the team that will win this tournament? We are now going into the 4th game of the series.
I have 3 picks.
Tell us.
I have Miami.
Okay.
I have Texas.
Okay.
And I have Troy as the dark horse.
I mean, look, they're 6th going after round 3. I mean, they're at the top of the 2-1 bracket while this game was going on. Troy, look, everyone needs a Cinderella. I only got one answer.
Okay.
It's Texas. I think that if there's any other team that can potentially beat
Sounds
them,
kind of biased.
I love the Texas Longhorns.
No, I know that. But do you think, just based on this performance that you saw, that solidifies your stance of them going all the way?
It means that they should be able to handle Georgia respectively. They should be able to handle Miami respectively. I think that now, since we're now going into really the nitty-gritty teams that represent the best in the country, that Texas showed how composed and methodical they had. They didn't have to even lift a sweat. And the funny part of it all, in a world where you need as many points as possible to advance, they didn't even need to care about that because they know they're the better team. A program that moves like that, you know who moves like that?
Ooh.
Champions. And with that, we say thank you. This is Brownsville Gamer.
And I am that other guy.
Signing out.